Welcome those in attendance to the May 19th, 2022 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for the City of Hammond. A roll call, please.
Mr. Margraf.
Here.
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 Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
No. Approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 12th, 2022. Good.
Make a motion to approve those minutes?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 5, bid openings. There are none. Item 6, matters from department heads and/or their representatives. Hearing none, seeing none. Okay. Item 7, correspondence. Item A, correspondence received from Dean Button, Capital Improvements Board, requesting $9,000 of CIP funding be allocated for additional environmental testing for Indianapolis Boulevard at Michigan, new right turn lane, and corresponding agreement submitted for approval.
Morning to the board.
Morning.
This was requested by the Indiana Department of Transportation to do supplemental environmental testing for hexavalent chromium, a condition that could exist as it relates to its proximity to eco services. That environmental testing has been completed and was favorable. The results were favorable. We did that in advance because we are trying to meet a letting date of September of this year to get the project bid through NDOT. And so you'll see that the funding agreement has been approved by the Capital Improvements Board and signed by the mayor and the city controller, and the agreement's attached. It's a supplemental agreement for your approval if you agree.
Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm. Okay, I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $60,000 of CIP funding to be allocated for general engineering services with Nice Engineering to perform various tasks and assignments for the engineering department, and corresponding agreement submitted for approval.
This is sort of an annual agreement we have with Nice Engineering to do general engineering services for projects that the staff has either the inability to do due to technology or lack of resources to do that. So it's an annual agreement. The funding allocation's been approved by the city controller, the mayor, and the Capital Improvements Board. And I would request your approval of this action, please.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C, correspondence received from Chief of Police William Short requesting the following applicants be appointed as probationary members of the Hammond Police Department and to serve their one-year probationary period effective May 12th, 2022. Jose Rios, Christopher Pravat, thank you, Andrew Delgado.
Good to go?
Yes.
I'll make a motion then to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, correspondence received from City Controller Megan Flores requesting the approval of the provider services agreement with Community Care Network, Inc., do business as CHS Occupational Health. Mr. Smith, anything you'd like to add to this at all?
Yes, so this agreement was reviewed. I'm not sure if the community has signed it yet, but basically it was requested for us to sign first, I think, or at least sign. They're going to sign it. I'd ask Linda not to send it until we have their signed version as well, so maybe we were signing in counterparts. But it's going to be the new city workers' comp and other testing facility agreement with Community Hospital Group.
Okay. Thank you.
I will make a motion then to approve Ms. Flores' request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item E, correspondence received from Grimmer Construction, Inc., requesting permission to close Detroit Street for the water main utility relocation on the NICD West Lake project.
Good morning.
Morning.
This was approved prior, but since Highland went a little bit longer, they didn't get the work done in that particular time frame, so they're just submitting a different time frame for this.
Okay. And Waltham is done, right? I know we've.
Waltham's done,
been
Highland's done.
Okay,
Highland's gonna be patched shortly,
okay,
and this is the next step, so the detour will work. The detour's actually down Highland Street,
okay.
Okay.
so I would recommend approval.
Then I will make a motion to approve,
Thank you.
to approve Grimmer Construction's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item F, correspondence received from Milestone requesting permission to restrict traffic and close Johnson and Torrance Avenue to traffic, with these not to be closed together from May 20th, 2022 through May 27th, 2022 for the Chicago Street Phase 2 project.
So basically, this is just the closures we've had previously, just flip-flopping them. So it's associated with the Chicago Avenue work, and it's ongoing, so neither one's going to be closed at the same time, so I recommend approval.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve Milestone's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item G, correspondence received from Catherine Byerly of Health Link, 1313 West Chicago Avenue, East Chicago, requesting assistance for guiding pedestrians in traffic control outside of the Bishop Knoll parking lot for their annual community health fair on Thursday, August 4th, 2022, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Past events have had an average of 250 attendees.
Forwarded to EMA and police.
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's
we
taken
got,
care
we
of.
got time, we got
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Also,
Okay,
make sure it's
okay.
taken care of. I'm okay with it too, right?
All right,
You good?
all right, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to approve Ms. Byerly's request and also forward it to EMA and the police department for the assistance that she asked for.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Item H, correspondence received from Cindy Rivera from the Hammond Library Foundation Board requesting to block off Soul Avenue and State Street on September 17th, 2022, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. to hold their fall festival. The streets we would like to block are Soul. Is Ms. Rivera here by chance? I mean, I think the board just has some questions in regards to blocking off Soul Avenue due to a lot of road construction that's going on. I know this isn't until September, but it's a north-south route, certainly for public safety. So I think I would suggest that we maybe see if we can get her in here and maybe find a different solution, unless we know come September that Holman's going to be open and clear, which it's not going to be. So that would be a concern of mine.
Mine also.
So am I.
Holman's open to two-way traffic, it should be through most of the
Yeah.
primarily because Norfolk Southern. Holman Avenue will be open to two-way traffic for the most of the project, for downtown. But we have seen an uptick in Norfolk Southern trains blocking
Right.
Seoul, Calumet, Columbia, Indianapolis Boulevard, and the only way to cross is Holman Avenue Bridge. So
He says they
I'm not
their
clear
fleets
exactly
Soul. I
on
mean,
the limits of the closure either. Are we talking about closing?
No, they just want to do it for the one day, from
But I
9 to
mean,
3.
what are the limits?
Well, we
right?
don't know, it's not really spelled out, that's what I think we
She
need
could
to-
provide a map or something
Or
that,
respond through email, or maybe just have her appear here, because we've got time. It's
Yes.
September.
yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so,
Okay.
what status it?
Or request her appearance before the board.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
Okay, I'll make
Okay,
that.
okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion then to have Ms. Rivera, her appearance before the board to better explain the area she's talking about closing off for the event.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item I, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings.
Make a motion to set those for June 9th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matters from board members?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Item 9, new business. Request for advertising dates of May 26, 2022, and June 2nd, 2022, with a bid opening date of June 16th, 2022, for the 2022 citywide roadway lighting project on the following streets: Walnut Avenue from 150th Street to 149th Street, Torrance Avenue from Hoffman Street to Hudson Street, Kenwood Street from McCook Avenue to Kennedy Avenue, Erie Avenue from Eaton Street to Carroll Street, State Line Avenue from 172nd Place to Vine Street, Nevada Court from Dead End south of Martha Street to 176th Street, and Cedar Avenue from Hoffman Street to Chicago Street, submitted for approval.
Requesting advertising dates and a bid opening date of June 2nd for the citywide lighting project. We've sort of changed the method in which we do lighting projects now. We were aggregating all the districts together into one project and then bidding the entire city out at one time because the districts now, there are fewer projects, lighting projects that are being done in each district. So with the mayor's concurrence, we aggregated all of that work to be done and designed through one engineer and bid through one project. Tim Hollinsworth is on the call. I don't know that he would have anything specifically to say, but he is our design engineer from VS Engineering. So he's available for any questions the board might have. We're looking for your approval to advertise and have a bid opening for this project.
I don't have any questions.
I don't either.
I don't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to approve the advertising dates and also the bid opening date.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item B, license and agreement with FH Passion Ragnar Benson Joint Venture for temporary easement at 225 Russell Street, the east 50 feet between Fayette Street and Russell Street for the Nickty Train Project, submitted for approval.
This is going to be a staging area. It has been approved through the redevelopment, so there's not any conflict with any new construction, the city engineer and also the law department. So there is insurance. They are going to utilize the 150 feet for staging some equipment and so forth of material.
That's not impacting the bike trail there, is it, or is that
No.
off? Just by, yeah, yeah, okay,
Right.
gotcha. I got it,
Good.
okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to
Thank
approve the
you.
license
Thank
and
you.
agreement.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item C, Robertsdale access agreements for 1247 Lakeview Avenue, 1249 Lakeview Avenue, 1250 Lakeview Avenue, and 1314 Lakeview Avenue, submitted for approval.
This is the Robertsdale lead impacted soil remediation project. The board may recall last week a number of access agreements were presented to the board and subsequently approved. These are just the continuation of those 30 homes that are the lead impacted soil is being remediated. The project contractor's been selected, the agreement's been executed. This helps get access to those properties appropriately to make the remediation efforts completed.
Good. I will then make a motion then to approve the access agreements with the properties that were read off.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item D, amusement devices for the week of May 16th, 2022, submitted for approval.
I will make a motion to approve the amusement devices.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, right-of-way permit submitted for approval from the engineering department.
We have reviewed them. We recommend approval. One being the extension of the school cities interconnect, another phase. The phases that are going on right now, no problems whatsoever. They didn't hit anything to our knowledge, which is a good thing. NIPSCO is doing another interconnect, or a interconnect between some of their facilities, and that's the other one. So I recommend approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Make a motion then to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Day. 2 days.
When do we,
2 days.
is this on here? We just need to sign it, right? Shoot.
Two days. These are good.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the garage sale permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we do need to bring this up at some point before we adjourn, right? Okay. Okay. Let's, item G, rental registrations for properties located at, we'll just take them one at a time, 1112 Truman.
All right, 1112 Truman, Juan Pablo Pellegrini. Seeing as the owner of the property fails to appear, I would request that the board deny the appeal.
Is that what it's for, an appeal?
This is for what, non-registration for 2022?
Yeah, it's a single-family home. Well, the owner had purchased the property in February of this year. However, they missed the deadline to register the property, and there's still a homestead being applied to the property address. And single-family home for 2022, yeah.
Okay, you good? I will make a motion to apply the late fee for the property located at 1112 Truman for the year of 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 820 Highland, 2046 Davis Avenue, 1729 Warwick, 605 118th Street.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Good morning.
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 So, Mr. Victor Haro is the owner of these property addresses. We'll start with 820 Highland. The owners own the property as of April of 20. It looks like it has not been registered in 2020 or 2021 as a 2-unit property. And there still is a homestead tax exemption applied to this property, so we would request that Mr. Haro complete the removal form so that we can get that adjusted for that particular property. And then 2046 Davis is only owner of record and registered on time for previous years. So I believe they allowed you to register for 2022, correct, with these? Okay, so we're here for 2021 on a single-family home with Davis. And then 1729 Warwick, Mr. Haro was the owner since 2012. There were previous Board of Works or collections actions in 2016 for failing to register the property from 2014 through 16. A settlement was reached, and then he's registered every time since for that property. And then 605 118th Street, owner since 2001, and he's registered on time in years prior for that.
And you're the owner of all of these properties, sir? So just let me, from the board's perspective, just let me ask you, how come some properties can be registered every year on time, and then some of them slip through the cracks where they don't get registered for some
Well,
subsequent years?
I apologize for that. The last 2 years, I haven't sent anything by mail because of COVID and everything. So last year, I got divorced and had an emergency with my mom, so I was not checking my mail because I had to change my address. So I did not follow up, find out until I came this year to register 2022 because I have now a different mailing address. So, I mean, every year I haven't done it because I know how important it is, but for some reason, I did not follow up. I paid with a money order and didn't check anything. So until this year that I came in to register, I was told that it was not received from last year.
He has been pretty compliant as far as like, anytime we need inspections or any issues be addressed with tenants having issues.
Are there any more properties you own besides just these four?
Well, those are the ones that I kept after my separation, so.
Oh, I understand, okay.
And then on Highland, since it was vacant for all this time, there was permits taken when it was acquired, and it was empty. I didn't,
Yeah, there were notes in the system that the utilities on Highland were reconnected sometime, I believe it was in November or December of 2020. So, but typically we would still require an affidavit be submitted, especially, multiple properties. If there's work going on, that's fine, just an affidavit to account for an exemption they have to register for that year. So as far as, Highland would be concerned, we would be willing to accept an affidavit for 2020, so then 2021 would be,
Yeah.
the year in question. And then we would have to ensure that the homestead gets removed from the Highland Street address.
Okay.
So I want to go back to Warwick, though. Warwick's the one that we gave him a break in 2016, is that correct?
Yeah, so it looks like, let me see, yeah, 1729 Warwick. He purchased the property January 2012, and then we had to file through Smith Sursick's office to obtain the years 2014, 2015, and 2016. There was, I believe, a late fee applied. Yeah, so there was a settlement reached for those 3 years in the amount of $585. So $590 total is what Mr. Harrell paid to catch up those 3 years.
Okay.
And then that was closed, and then 17, 18, and 19,
Okay.
everything was, and 20, everything was covered on time for those since that.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Howard, you understand we normally only give somebody one opportunity to, so that happened in 2016. So I guess I want you to know going forward that if you're before the board, you probably will not be giving that.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, since I had to move from my address, I did not follow up with my mail.
I understand.
So,
Life gets in the way. I'm just letting you know
No.
that that's something you have to make sure it's taken care of. I'm going to make a motion then to waive the late fees for all the properties and all the years listed. And Mr. Harrell, you have to provide the necessary paperwork for the Highland address. Okay?
I second.
All those in favor?
What it is,
Aye.
Aye.
I'm supposed to be using that as my property.
So that's going to be 1 year, right? Highland.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man.
3635 Nebraska. Ms. Fernandez?
Good morning.
Morning.
So, Ms. Fernandez has been the owner of this property since May 18th of 2018, and she has registered on time in previous years. So I believe we're here for, was it 2022?
21.
21, that's right. 2021, was the year that was missed.
Okay.
No issues before?
You said there's been no issues since she's owned the property?
Yeah, since her ownership, she's registered on time.
Okay.
And haven't had any
Okay.
property.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion then to waive the late fee for your property. Ma'am, just make sure going forward that you register the place.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Last year was a hard day for my family. For me, I had daycare in Chicago. And since the COVID, many of my families was sick, and then I was sick for many months. Was recovered.
All right, thank you so much. Did you motion?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Oh, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 2638 Cleveland.
Mr. Herrera?
Morning.
So it looks like Mr. Herrera is the only owner of record in accordance with Lake County records. We're here for 2020 and 2021. In 2015, the garage at this property did have to get placed on the order to repair demolish list. It got to the point of being bid out and awarded until the owner pulled a permit in 2017 to self-demolish. And then in last year, there were citations issued for junk vehicles and property maintenance. But he has registered on time in years past, so we're here on 2020 and 21 for a single-family home.
Sir, can you
Yeah.
just offer up an explanation to the board?
Well, the reason was just the pandemic, because I kept coming and they were closed, so I just didn't do it online. But before that, I always paid it.
And he's owned the property for how long?
He's the only owner of record according to Lake
Oh.
County records, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I will make a motion then to waive the late fees for both years. Sir, obviously, this would be the last opportunity, so make sure you come in every year and register, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. $509, 169th, and 511, 169th.
All right, so we have the current owner of the property as a Miss Amy Ralph?
Amy?
Raphael, that's
Amy
cool, too.
Raphael?
That's same, yeah. So it looks like her home address in Santa Ana, California. I believe Vilgar Property Management Company is managing this two-unit property for the owner. Ownership transferred in June of 2021. It looks like prior to that, it was under the ownership of J.C. Perdomo Investments, LLC. The property hasn't been registered since 2018, so I guess like the new owner wouldn't be responsible for the previous years aside from 21 and then 22, I guess. But the current registration that was accepted for 2022, because, like even if the owner owes previous years, as long as they submit a request for a rental registration late fee appeal hearing, we will accept the current years on time. The tenant that's listed on that rental registration is the same individual who's a registered agent of J.C. Perdomo, who was the previous owner who would owe 2019 and 2020. So it looks like the previous owner lives there. He'd be the one responsible for 2019 and 2020, and the current owner would then take care of 21 and 22. So
there's two units, Nick, and
Correct.
the other previous owner lives in one of them?
that's what it appears to be.
So is he renting it then, is he?
As a tenant, he's listed as a tenant on this year's rental registration that was accepted. Yeah. So, the owner and Vilgar, when did you guys take over management of the property?
July 1st
Of this year?
of 2021.
2021? Okay. So then I guess they would be in line, with the current owner. So, and then Mr. Perdomo was living at the property at that point?
Yeah.
As an inherited tenant?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can work with Kevin Smith's office then to notify Mr. Perdomo of the years that he owes as the owner of the property.
Okay.
And we'll focus on the current owner.
Which one would that be, 509 or 511?
Well, the whole property is under a single address
Oh.
of 511 169th Street, and according to Lake County records, treasurer and assessor site, and then it's listed as a 2-unit property under that address. So typically what they'll do is they'll assign each unit like a A, B. In this case, they did 509 and 511,
Okay.
which is, I think, where the secondary address came from, but it's only a single address with 2 units.
Okay, you good? Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a motion then to waive the late fee for both units for the year of 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Eleven fifteen 167th Street and 1119 167th Street. Patrick and Paula King?
These 2 properties are separate, single-family homes. It looks like Mr. and Mrs. King have registered the property on time since their ownership for 1115 and 99, and then for 1121 would be 2014. They were only late for 2022. I believe the postal date stamp was the 20th. So it was 2 days past the deadline.
Just passed.
Yes.
So again, we're talking 1115 and 1119 or 1121? You just said.
1121, right, yeah, so Lake, we'll base our records off of, to correspond with what Lake County Treasurer and Assessor have. So the legal address that aligns with the parcel numbers for these locations would be 1115 167th Street and then 1121 167th Street. There was no 1119 during the property research that was conducted, so that's what we have.
Good. Okay.
Okay, good? Okay, I'm going to make a motion then to waive the late fee for both properties for the year of 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay. 7115 Kentucky, 6610 Rhode Island, 6519 Ohio, 6626 Rhode Island, 1629 175th, 7550 Marshall. Prestige Management?
One second.
Which one is that one, though? The Ohio one? Okay. So we'll hear that again some other time? Okay.
So,
Okay.
we'll start with Kentucky, 7115 Kentucky. There was a new owner on January 15th of '21. It's a single-family home that during the ownership should have been registered for '21 and '22. So that's what's owed on that property address. And then it looks like 6610 Rhode Island, same thing, new owner in May 28th of '21. Failed to register for '21 and '22. That's a single-family home property. And then the Ohio address. So we have a owner, Mr. Joshua Brown, taking ownership of the property in October of 2021. However, we don't have a home address for him. Do you have one on file for Mr. Brown with Ohio?
Yes, we have one back in the office.
Okay.
He's overseas.
Oh, he's overseas. Okay, all right. So we would, just need to place some on the private record as they have the site address at 6519 Ohio as the address for the owner. And there's a homestead tax exemption that is still being claimed on the property. So if Mr. Brown is overseas, we'd want to make sure that, and the property is occupied as a rental, that the homestead gets removed and we have a appropriate information for the property owner. 6626 Rhode Island. It's a single-family home, owes for 21 and 22. It looks like the property owner took over in 2005. They registered on time every year in the past. 1629 175th Street. It's never been registered as a rental before. The new owner took ownership 9/20 of 21. So we would be requesting that 21 and 22 be accounted for. And then the last one is 7550 Marshall. Never registered as a rental property. New owner, September 30th of 21, and there is a homestead tax exemption that is still being applied to this property, listed under the ownership of an LLC. I would do it for this.
For status to another date.
Yeah, I guess, because he's not here.
Nick, I have a question. So for Ohio, are we setting that for status to another date to give you time to get that information?
He has it here. I'm gonna write it on the form,
Okay.
and then I can give that to you.
Okay, got you, okay.
So when did Prestige take ownership of some of, or oversee some of these properties?
So for 7115 Kentucky, we took management on that one February last year. Tenant was placed February 18th. We registered approximately 25 with the city. That was on our list. Not sure how that one got missed. The Rhode Island one at 6610.
You guys took ownership in May of last year, or?
That one was, I don't know when we took over management. That tenant was placed in September. 6519, that was the one that was purchased in October. We placed a tenant in November. 1629 175th, that was purchased end of September. We placed a tenant October 1st. And then the Marshall one, we placed a tenant on August 1st. I'll be honest, I didn't realize that late in the year you had to file registrations on those. That's why we didn't do those last year for those 4 properties.
I would just remind, I mean, obviously these guys do a lot of work in the city. It seems like they do a good job. Just a reminder that you have to register within 30 days. That way
Yep,
it
we are
looks
aware of that
like-
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Last year was our first year with the management company, so we're still learning a little bit. The 6626 Rhode Island property, that was we just took over management of that one this year. That owner has 7 other properties in Hammond. 6 of them were registered by the prior management company. This one wasn't. So I can't speak for what happened on that one. I did try to register all of these this year. We weren't able to, which is why I have all the forms.
Okay.
Okay. So just to clarify, all properties are for 21 and 22, and they all are single families?
Correct.
Is that correct?
2 of them have homesteads that,
Two have homesteads, the 6519 Ohio and 7550 Marshall.
which those have to be removed, correct?
Correct, yes. We have the forms. I have the one for Marshall filled out for him. He'll need to get them to the owner so they could sign them anyway, so that may take just some time, but I'm sure we can work together to get it accomplished.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to waive the late fees for all the listed properties, contingent on you providing the necessary paperwork that's required, sir.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 1468 Summer.
Okay, so it looks like Mr. Enrique
Vargas?
Vargas?
Mr. Vargas?
Yep, okay. So it looks like the property, this is a single-family home. Mr. Vargas has owned the property since October of 2016, and the last registration that we have on file was in 2018. So we're here for 2019, 2020, and 2021.
19, 20, and 21? Did you say 19, 20, and 21, Nick?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please enlighten the board as to what happened in 2019, 20, and 21.
2019, I thought it was only like you can register only when you rent on the property. That's my mistake.
Yeah, so typically, like, if you were in between tenants or, you know, you just decide to leave vacant for a little bit, we still need to make sure
Yeah,
that.
I don't know that.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
affidavit is submitted and whatnot.
So was anyone in the property in 2019?
19, no, and then on 2020, I was here to register, but it was closed. A couple of times that I tried, it was closed at that time.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID.
They need him to speak up, if he can get closer to the mic. Yeah.
Mr. Kearney's saying they did not close.
We were open for COVID.
It was,
Limited office, but we were closed.
it was closed.
Never
When I
had
come
any issues
here,
with
it was
them
closed a
before.
couple of times. It was open?
Okay, so then we just need, do we need an affidavit for 19? Is that what we need?
Right, yeah, we'll verify with the water department records, just to ensure everything lines up, and then we can, if an affidavit would suffice, we can have him fill one out to apply for that year. Even if a tenant has occupied, you know, for a week in 19, then it would still be required to register, right? Unless it's at that end of the 30 days, and then it would kick into the next year. So either way, you know, I mean, typically, we want to ensure that appropriate documentation is submitted within the 3 months that it's allotted. And then, you know, we know what's occurring at the property address. So, you know, if the board wishes, I can verify with water as far as usage is concerned. And then we go for there for 19. But, you know, I know he's been the owner since the 2016. He's registered on 16, 17, 18, and then just, you know,
So I'm only going to act on 20 and 21 then, correct? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to make a motion then to waive the late fees for 2020 and 2021. And sir, you have to provide an affidavit for 2019 that you had nobody occupying the residence. Nick will explain it to you. Okay?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Get rid of 19.
You got another one, Nick?
Pine from last week.
Under old business.
We gotta do you wanna keep going with new business with those Mylars, or do you wanna go to?
I was going to do it when we got to the public.
That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did we do 5925 Calumet? That's
Where's that at?
That's here, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's got to be a mistake.
Really?
That's, I don't know, that's here.
You're right. It's here. It's here.
You guys charging somebody rent in here? What's going on?
Is there a Mr. Pellegrini here? Okay, well, we're going to go by that one then.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I don't know what to do with that one. Okay, he's not here, so. Okay, item 10, old business. Status on rental registration, 4524 Pine Avenue. Mr. Orozco? Oh, this is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, so they were here last week. They come into the office, submitted the appropriate affidavits to account for the owner's daughter occupying the property on Pine
This one, no. Yeah.
from 2012 through 2017. They have filled out and submitted the homestead removal for the property address. And then, so I just wanted to confirm that you guys did have a tenant occupying the property from 2018 through 21? Or was it 2020 and 21 that?
Yeah, 20.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so we're here for 2020 and 21 as a single-family home. And we'll let them come up and speak.
2020 and 2021. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can you just explain what happened in 2020 and 2021?
El 2021. The house wasn't rented at 20 to 21. He just started at 2021. They were making some fixes in the house, so it wasn't renting till this year of January
Of 22?
of 22. I'm sorry.
So nobody was renting
No.
the house in 20 and
No.
21?
21, yeah. So it was 1 year.
Okay. Nick, do you know that? Do you need paperwork to verify that?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, water department did show usage to support, like, occupancy, and that's why, we had, I believe we sent this, through Kevin Smith's office. Because what happened was, the owner, purchased 4524 Pine in 6/6 of 2012. Subsequently purchased 4517 Oak, in June 14th of 21. And so the time frame correlates where he would have moved into Oak when he purchased it in June of 21, which would have then put Pine as a rental property. There's also a few other properties that have come up, for, I think, he also owns 4739 Ash, is that correct?
20 Ash?
4739 Ash. Do you own that property as well, Mr. Lopez?
El Ash? No.
Okay.
No, not that one.
So, I mean, that's just the way the timelines correlate is, he wouldn't have been able to move into Oak until, he purchased it in 21, which would have then, put Pine, in occupancy by then. Unless they had a water leak, then it needed to get fixed, but.
Ma'am, do you understand, if you weren't renting Pine, somebody was inside living in the house using water, can you explain that?
Well, his, I think. No, they never cut the water off. They was still on.
Right, well, and then that's what I mean, like, for that time frame, the water was on, and the water department has record of water usage, which would support somebody living there, right? I understand he's saying that they were fixing it and empty,
Yeah.
but if the property is vacant, not being used as a rental, and they were working, like, using the water for themselves, then we would just need to ensure that proper documentation gets submitted, right? Does he have a lease with the current tenants, or when the tenants moved in, so he can supply us with a lease to verify the timeframe which the occupancy began?
When, for 2021?
Nick, I'm confused. She said it was 2022 is when they
I
moved
mean,
in.
yeah,
so-
yeah, 22.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
we keep going back to 21. So is it 2022?
When they started renting it, yeah.
Okay, so then I guess that's but when he said 2021, you said yes. So
No.
Okay.
I mean, based on our records, it would indicate that 4524 Pine Avenue became a rental in 2021. Right? If they're contending that it hadn't been rented out until 22, then they filled out and submitted affidavits to account for their daughter occupying it up until 2017. So we have a time frame of 2018, 19, 20, and then 21. That's unaccounted for. Either they were occupying it, or there was another situation occurring. But they purchased Oak and then moved into the Oak property address in June of 2001. So that is the time frame that we're assuming they occupied Pine until 2001 when they purchased the other home. And then, so 21 and 22 are the years in question. If they're saying they didn't rent it, we would just need, I guess, then an affidavit to account for the vacancy in 21. That would really be our only recourse. Otherwise, we would have to confirm with water if it was in a tenant's name or the usage. They did say that water was being consumed, but it was going to Mr. Arcosa.
So is there no action necessary as providing they give us a copy of, affidavits for 20 and 21? And then can you require a lease for when the person moved in?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's first time they're registering the property, which it would have been, then we would have a lease attached to it showing that, it was rented out. So if they can provide us a lease, we can attach it to this year's rental registration, and they submit the affidavits for the previous years, then we can move forward with it.
Okay, so no action on 20 and 21, providing they give us an affidavit. And do they owe for 2022?
I believe they registered, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they registered already in order to have the hearing scheduled.
Okay. So how do we act on no action? Just, ma'am, you understand you need to provide an affidavit for 20 and 21?
Okay.
That nobody was renting the residence? Okay. Good, with that making a no action? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion, and as long as the paperwork's provided, that there's no action for 2020 and 2021. And I am going to ask that you get a lease for 2022, because I'm not,
Yeah.
okay?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Holy smokes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Status 7025 Van Buren Garage, owner to appear.
Mr. President, good morning, and board.
Smith.
You may recall this is that Tyvek wrapped garage. We asked the owner to appear. Mr. Farrell has reached out. They said they had to be at the airport this morning with a family member, I'm not sure. They haven't contacted the law department. I spoke with Mr. Kearney. We do have a bid on this property. We also have a confirmation that NIPSCO was cut back in 2018. We did this demo in 2018. We did it again in 2020. So at this point, the law department is going to send a 7-day letter to get your stuff out of the garage. Mr. Kearney is going to notify JM, and we'll see either if that alerts them when there's a tractor in front of their garage, or if not, then we're going to knock it down. We have the right to do it. We have a valid order, so that's the status. I guess just for the boards and maybe the owners, in case they wake up between now and 7 days, if we could set this for status for 3 weeks, and that will at least give the board an update as to what we decided to do.
That's June 9th, is that okay?
That works.
You good with that? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion then to set 7025 Van Buren Garage for status to June 9th, 2022.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. 847 117th Street.
Yes, I believe Mr. Sears is here. This is the old Rupp Library. I think probably what we'd like to do, he signed the rehab agreement. This is the first extension of it. I think he's here. He was here. All right. Signed the first extension. I'd like to present it to the board for approval. I did want to know if the board president could initial on the second page. There was a couple of amendments. That we've extended it past the June 23rd suggested date just because it's so close. And we're going to move it to August 31st, and we would request the board's approval of the first extension of the agreement. There has been progress moving along. I believe they've removed a lot of the storage situation and are moving forward with a lot of the work. So.
Okay. That new date, Kev, was August 31st?
For the expiration of the rehab, yeah. And then if we could do a status in early September, sometime after the 31st, I think that'd be appropriate, as close to the 31st as we can.
Well, the very next day is September 1st?
Perfect.
Is it good? Okay, so then I will make a motion to approve the first extension for that property and also set it for status to September 1st, 2022.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, I gotta initial those things, okay. Status 4905 Linden. Mr. Taylor.
All right, this is Mr. Taylor's property.
Yeah,
Surprised he's not here.
he was here last week.
Thought he was here, but he left.
Oh, he was?
I
I didn't see him, yeah.
So starting on the second story,
Wow. Gee whiz, man.
I think, as you know, we're kind of like, for lack of a better term, shepherding this along. I think Mr. Kearney is fine with extending this to another status date?
60 days. I want to put pressure on. We need to be referring.
Maybe 30? 30 days?
Okay, 30 days puts us at June 16th or 23rd. Which do you prefer?
23rd.
Okay, you good with that? Okay, I'm going to make a motion to set 4905 Linden for status to June 23rd, 2022.
And could we have an order to appear at that?
Yes, also request his appearance before the board.
Linda, you sign the letter.
I second.
All
Thank
those in
you.
favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's open to the public. Mr. Smith?
Yes, Mr. President, I apologize. When you requested other department heads to speak, I failed to remember that you've got a couple Mylars in front of you. This is, just to
For the
remember.
record, I failed to.
Well, we both did then. I remind the board that a couple meetings ago, there was a resolution that transferred some property to the park department up near Clark High School field. It was like 3 orphan parcels. Actually, I believe it was the Station 2, a little parcel next to it, and then the Environmental Ed Center. Those deeds are now being recorded. This is the Mylar of the subdivision that went through the Plan Commission recently and requires the board's signature. So I would request on behalf of the city planner, Mr. Poland, that the board sign the Mylars, and then we will get them recorded.
Okay. Parcels.
Oh, and just to let you know, it's a 2-lot subdivision. Lot 1 is going to be the new Station 2, so it's back down by the Environmental Ed Center, and then Lot 2 is the remainder, everything else.
Okay. Do we need a motion on this?
It doesn't, I mean, it's not going to hurt, so just motion to
Okay.
sign the Mylars, it's fine.
We're just going to, we'll
The signatures?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to approve the signatures that are required.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's open to the public.
So I had a situation from last week come up, Mr. Dempsey's properties that originally appeared on the 5th of May. Mr. Dempsey failed to appear. The board denied his appeal of the waiver late fee, and then subsequently he appeared last week, and we reversed the decision to waive the late fees. However, I did not have the findings and decisions prepared for Mr. Dempsey's arrival last week, so I have them now, if the board would be so kind to accept them.
We need to sign them? Oh, I remember those. I remember those. Yeah. Remember the gentleman that was here? We said we wanted to have clean paperwork.
Yes. Okay. Make a motion on that then, or no, we're good?
He made a motion last week when he was here, so they're just for your review and processing.
Yeah.
And Linda said we're good, yeah.
Thank you. Those are for, let me just want to write down the name. Dempsey, Patrick Dempsey. Meeting's open to the public. Anyone? Yes, sir.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be here today. I was waiting for a letter. Our registration was late. And they said that they would send me
What's the address?
941 Chicago Street. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't receive nothing in the mail yet. I know they told me something about Thursday.
What are you looking for, that pictures?
Yes. Last week on the 3rd floor, I handed them in, and he said they'll get a hold of it.
It was probably on the agenda to assign a date for days under.
Yeah, we went June, I think it was June
Oh,
9th.
June 9th?
Okay.
So yeah, if it was submitted last week, they would have assigned it a date.
Let me verify.
Okay, so I'm still waiting.
He's going to verify, sir, but we think the date's June 9th, so you would need to come back June 9th at 9 o'clock.
I appreciate it. I just didn't want to miss it.
No.
But they will send you a notice in the mail.
Yes, sir.
Confirming the date that was assigned.
Armundo?
Yes.
Mr. Armundo? Yeah, June 9th.
Okay, thank you,
9
sir.
a.m. Thank you. Anyone else from the public? I know what I'm going to put on there. At that point, you'll be adjourning last minute. Anyone else from the public? Okay, hearing none, seeing none.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.